Hello everyone, and welcome to your Module 9 Monday Morning Breakfast Bite. Now, this week what we're looking at is criminal liability and how it affects online commerce. Now, as you'll see from one of the readings, it can cost a company of 1,000 employees up to $15 million per year to fight cybercrime. But the problem with this is if we're not doing what we need to from a business perspective to protect our clients or customers' personal information and it gets hacked, the liability can significantly be on us, because if we're the company, we have an obligation to keep that information safe. Here's part of the problem that's happening now is that credit card companies are now denying liability, and they are moving the risk in their contract of something happening and the liability for something happening to the customer, their own customer, the retailer, or the doctor's office, or the hospital, or whatever it might be. And there are actually companies out there specifically directed towards preserving information, personal information of a medical nature, personal information of an education-based nature. So all these different aspects. But the cost of doing business, the bottom line cost to the average business, if you look in this week's readings, is $15 million for a company of 1,000 employees. And that just keeps rising with the onset and really proliferation of the dark web, and then you've got the Marianas web, which we'll be looking at, and all of these different aspects. It becomes a very slippery slope to maneuver for companies. So as you look through this week's material, you're not really looking just from an ethical standpoint. You're really looking at the cost of doing business and the cost of protecting a customer or client's personal information in today's online world. Because as you know, there are very few and far between situations where you're not going to have some online aspect to your business in today's day and age. And that cybercrime is a big aspect of that risk analysis that every company has to undertake. And we saw in the one case that we analyzed for the breakdown of the case brief analysis, when we went through it piece by piece with the facts, the issue and holding, the law, and then the rationale, and that impact that it had on that company. So when you look at it, you have to be very careful with the contracts you're entering into. And now insurance companies are actually providing additional insurance that insures just for that type of loss. And you have to be careful in making sure that you are covered for that type of loss, especially if you are dealing with the public and that personal information of the public, i.e. your customers, clients, or patients. So when you're looking at the content of this week's material, think about that from the online commerce and business aspect and how that's affecting the bottom line, because you want to make sure that your customers are comfortable in giving that personal information and doing business with you. Now this week, for homework, you have your Module 9, which is the muddiest point. So when you're looking at that module discussion this week, what is the muddiest point from this week's material? And what I like about these discussions is that you have the opportunity to engage with other students, may be able to provide you some assistance. But of course, if you need additional assistance, please don't hesitate to email me and contact me, but I'll be reading your muddiest points as well. Don't forget, you also have Quiz 5 this week, which ends next Sunday. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact your instructor. We're so glad that you're studying here at St. Petersburg College, and we hope that you have a great Module 9, or Week 9, as I prefer to say, this week.